Magandang kamalayan sa inyo lahat at nandito na naman tayo sa ating classroom, klase. Ito ay aking tinatawag na Kamalayan Learning Alternative Success System under sa aming tinatawag na eskwelahan na Online Kamalayan Lifelong Learning Center. Okay, at ito nga ay isang bagay na ginagawa natin dahil nga nagkakaroon na tayo ng pagbabago sa ating nakikita sa takbo ng panahon, sa takbo ng ating mundo. Sobrang nakakagulat ang mga pangyayari in the past 3 months na kung saan ay natigil ang mga bagay-bagay katulad ng mga business establishments, eskwelahan, kumbaga yung mga dati natin ginagawa sa pang-araw-araw, yung mga nakikita natin bukas na mga tindahan, mga restaurant, mga simbahan ay nagsara. Pero yung ba, nagbubukas na uli. It seems that nagkakaroon ng parang pagbabalik sa sinasabi nilang new normal. Alam niyo, ako ay hindi sang-ayon dyan sa new normal na tinatawag na yan. Kasi, una-una, ano ba yung normal na gusto nating i-base yung pagsasabi mo na new normal? So, sabihin may old normal. Alright, okay. Siguro yun yung old normal, yun yung dati nating nakagisnan, no? Pero, yung normal na ginagawa natin, mukhang nawala lahat eh. In terms of yung talagang what we would consider as our way of life, no? Mukhang nawala, namatay. Kaya nga sabi ko nga I in one of my previous videos, I said we are now grieving for the loss of something in our life. Ano yung loss na yun? Yung tinatawagan nating way of life. Na kung saan na yung dati, ito yung kinagisna natin, ito yung nagagawa natin, ito yung pangkaraniwan na pang-araw-araw na ating gawain. Pero biglang natigil at tayo ay na-quarantine. At tayo ay nasa bahay lamang na hindi tayo makalabas. At hindi natin magawa yung mga dati natin ginagawa na katulad ng trabaho natin. And now, yun na nga, yung sinasabi na nga ng magkakaroon ng new normal. Kung sila yung normal, ibig sabihin yung dating normal, old normal, or yung pagbabago na ito, ano yan? Sa akin parang wala nang normal na mangyayari. There is nothing that will be normal in this future that I am now seeing. Why? Because it's always uncertainty that I am now looking at. Kasi hindi natin alam kung saan tayo papunta ngayon. The virus is still here. So, in terms of I would say yung magiging natin sana solusyon sa pandemic mukhang wala pa yan in the months to come, or even for that matter, let's say 1 more year. And so kung 1 more year yan at natigil ang karamihan sa mga gawain natin, ano ang normal dyan? Wala na normal kasi nga hindi natin nababalikan na yun dati nating ginagawa. Karamihan na nga ng mga businesses nag-downsize na, or if not would be nag-downsize, nagsara na, nag-lay off na ng a lot of employees. Kaya ito ay malungkot na senaryo na nakikita natin. Pero, as I've said, this is what we expected. No? Kami sa Kamalayan, we knew this was coming. That's why we were prepared for this. We were announcing it. I was announcing it. I was telling people, get ready for this total collapse of systems. Na kung saan ay wala naman nakinig sa amin. Okay lang. Siyempre, mahirap tanggapin yung ganong klaseng mga maririnig mo, no? So, para sasabihin mo, paano magkukolaps yun? Napaka-stable ng nangyayari ngayon. And we're talking about, the business structures that we were seeing for the past 50 years. Na kung saan ay ito'y talagang ang ganda ng progress. Kung saan ay nagkaroon nga ng mas malalang problema because nagkaroon ng pollution, nagkaroon ng destruction of our natural environment. Marami tayong naapektuhan na hindi sana naging ganon. It was all because of, we would say, progress. Pero masama ba maging progressive? Masama ba umunlad? Masama ba gumanda ang takbo ng panahon? Well, let's put it this way. Maganda sana. Ang problema is there were some, I would say, groups. Kasi hindi ko pwede sabihin na marami ito eh. A few lang who wanted to really gain control of what they want to make happen in this world. So parang ginagawa nila ng paraan na kung saan ay yung direksyon na gusto nila ay ito yung kailangan matahak ng karamihan sa atin. I mean, there were just a few of them who are controlling the entire wealth of our world, kung saan ay ilang families lang ito talaga, which is, yun na nga, nakikita na natin. No? And so, they had another agenda. Okay lang yun. Let's not go into that. I mean, I don't have any conspiracy theory to actually really follow through here. But what I am now looking at is not a new normal na ang aking nakikitang scenario. I would rather call it the new reality. The new reality, because definitely there is a new reality that is happening now and it is always changing. Kaya nga hindi mo pwede sabihin na magkakaroon ka ng isang normalcy because it will always change now. From now on, there will be continuous change. And so if there will be continuous change of everything, what will be normal there? I mean, yun ang pinaka-normal ba? Pagbabago. So, ang hirap kasi pag sinabi mo normal, kahit pa paano merong regularity, merong stability in a way. Pero that's not what we are now seeing. So, ito ngayon ang tanong. So, this is the new reality and it's always going to change until we are able now to maybe create the kind of acceptable, I would say, system that we want now to be in place. So hanggat wala pa yan, we will just continue trying new things. Now this is the best time to try new things. So sabi nga natin, mga businesses, yung mga capitalist, yung capitalism is not anymore, I would say, helpful. No? Although maganda sana. Kaya lang parang hindi ka talagang makakaasa kasi nga it has collapsed in a way. So saan ngayon ang ating I would say kakapitan? So nawala eh. But before I continue, I'd like to say hi to some people already who are watching. Boy Paterno, pinsan ko ito. Kamusta na? Sunny Azores from Bicol. Ayan. Marilu Lourdes Cosme. Maria Lourdes Cosme. Malu kasi ito si Malu Cosme. From Bontoc is watching. And Gerald Grana. Kamusta na, Gerald? And M. Centeno. And Juan de los Santos. Happy Independence Day nga pala. Ayan. sineselebrate natin Independence Day. Well, are we really that independent? Independent from what now? Kasi at this point in time, mukhang there is something that we still have to work on. Not in terms of, well, being independent from another sovereign country, but independent from our own prison walls. Tayo ay, nakapreso ngayon. Because of our fears, because of our, I would say, cultural beliefs. Marami sa atin nakapreso or nakakapit o nakakulong. So dito natin talaga kailangan mapag-usapan ang ganitong mga bagay na kung saan ay may kinalaman itong topic natin ngayon. And this is what I had not exactly planned for today, but biglang at the last minute, sabi ko nga sa inyo, I work with guides, with spirit guides, and somehow I was planning something this morning to discuss, and then later this afternoon, biglang everything in my mind changed. There was something that told me, Tato, talk about the educational system. It's about time. Sabi ko, why? Why now? I mean, I can talk about that later on. Pero ang kulit Para bang hindi ko siya minamind, pero balik ng balik sa akin. Until I gave in. And then I said, okay, I'll announce it na. Last minute nga yun. Siguro 1 hour before 5 o'clock. That was the only time I said that I was going to discuss this topic. Kaya pala sabi ko nung una, parang hindi ako makaisip na kung ano yung title na or anong subject yung aanuhin natin ngayon sa Kamalayan Online Learning Center sa ating class. But, yun na nga, nagbigay ng linaw ang aking parang intuition. At sinabi, this is what we want you to talk about. All right. I put in my my Facebook post on my wall kanina that let us not make our students go back to school until the curriculum has changed. All right. You know, many times akala ng iba, marami yung nakakarinig sa akin or maybe they read my posts. Ano ka ba? Sabi niya, anti-academic ka ba? Well, let's put it this way. I am pro-education. I am pro-learning. I am I would say, studying. Pero, the way the academe or schools have tried to do it in the past, parang dun ako hindi sumasang-ayon. Because I myself was, well, let's put it this way, I was a victim of that in terms of that educational system. I would say now, the obsolete educational system. Kasi ano ba yun? The educational system natin, remember, it was patterned after the Americans who actually created it and actually borrowed it from I don't know which European country they tried to model it from. Ang ano nila noon, they wanted education for the Industrial Revolution. And during the early times of the Industrial Revolution, they had big factories and they needed people to be employed in those factories. And so, ang kailangan maituro dun sa mga taong manggagaling dun sa eskwelahan na finoform nila during those times ay kailangan masunurin, hindi magrereklamo, marunong turuan, madaling turuan. Yan. Kumbaga, flexible. Basta parang kung ano yung sasabihin, ano yung uutos, hindi yan mag-question. So, susunod lang yan. And that was the kind of educational system we had. And di ba, kaya stricto ang eskwelahan eh. You have to follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, you will fail or you will get to be expelled or suspended, whatever. So, importante yung you follow the rules. Nawala yung, alright, okay, so this is a very timing talk. Salamat po sa inspirasyon. Okay, Teacher Rack. Where are you teaching, Teacher Rack? Okay. Yeah, ito nga eh. Remember, ang nangyari, ang ginawa ng eskwelahan, they wanted everyone to be the same. Di ba? You fall in line, sunod-sunod kayo. You wear the same uniform, same color. Yan, that's the same. Ang nawala was the uniqueness in every student. You were not given the opportunity to display or express your uniqueness in school. Instead, they said, you have to follow what we want you to study or what we want to say here. And that's it. Forget about who you are. As a matter of fact, that is not what they taught us in school. To find out who we were or who we are. Yan ang isang talagang sabi ko, bakit itong pinaka-importanting itinuturo dapat sa atin na kilalanin ang bawat isa sa atin, kung sino tayo, ang pagkatao natin, our make in terms of being a human being, hindi tinuro sa atin eh. We were actually taught to be, instead of being a human being, human doing. We were prepared to do something. We were not prepared to become who we were. We were prepared to do something. Kaya may course ka for you to become, or, well, yeah, I have to become it first, to do. And actually, you have to do it first so that you can become, anong tawag dito, happy. Yun ang kon eh. So, you have to work first, earn a lot of money, and then, you will become happy. Hindi natin nakita muna yung baligtad of that process. Become first aware of who you are and know your strengths, your skills, your talents, your gifts. And then, from there, express it. And because you are happy doing what you are doing, you will now earn whatever you're going to earn. O, hindi ba mas masaya ka, mas productive ka. Ang ginawa natin is, hindi, mag-apply ka sa ganito, magtrabaho kang ganyan, kasi mas malaki sweldo dyan. Kahit hindi mo gusto yung trabaho. So, ikaw naman, tinanggap mo yung trabaho. Ano nangyari? You were not happy in your job, in your workplace. Nandun ka nga sa kwarto, nasa opisina ka, pero ano ang productivity mo? Minimal. Kung ano lang yung required sa'yo. Sabi mo, ginagawa ko naman yung trabaho eh. So, okay lang yan. Tsaka baba lang ng sweldo ko dito. Bakit ako magpapakitang gilas dito? That was the kind of attitude employees had. And so, we created a lot of unhappy people worldwide. They just worked because they wanted the money. They needed the money. So, ang problema then, we were so unhappy as a people from all walks of life. And then what happened? Now, eto na nga eh. So, that time came for us to be able now to stop what we're doing. Alam nyo dati, before I proceed with that, alam nyo, paano ko alam yan? every time I would give talks to companies, kasi the companies, a lot of companies then would actually ask me to give some seminars to their employees, no? Ako naman, during that time, I said, yes, why not? Okay, I would teach about kamalayan, consciousness. Eto ngayon, ang na-realize ko, ang nakita ko, after my seminars, most, if not all, of those who attended my seminar, or my seminars, resigned from their jobs. Why? Because they realized they were in the wrong place, they were doing the wrong thing, and they were not happy. So, yun ang no? And that was the truth. I mean, many of those who are actually employed are not happy doing their job. They're just there because they needed they needed money, they needed the salary. Pero, kung talagang titignan mo, tutuusin, they don't really enjoy their jobs. Ayaw nila yung trabaho nila. Kung meron man, ilan lang yun. Pero karamihan, ayaw. And that time I realized, my God, this is something disturbing. And later on, pag may kumukuha sa akin, I would already turn down. Sinasabi ko na sa mga kumukuha sa akin, wag mo na lang kukunin kasi baka mag-resign lahat ng mga nagtatrabaho sa inyo ako pasisihin nyo. Which is exactly, alam ko na mangyayari. Pero yun na nga, that had been my rallying cry or point now. Na, hey, let's now put things in its proper perspective. Let us now start again from the beginning. What do you really want? Kasi when I talk to these people and I ask them, what do you really want? They really told me the things that they really wanted to do. And hindi yung trabaho na yun ang gusto nilang gawin. Almost all of them said, hindi itong pinlano namin. I never even studied for this. As a matter of fact, yung pinag-aralan ko, wala akong makuha ng trabaho doon sa pinag-aralan ko. Ito ngayon ang tinanggap ko. During that time, there were some nursing students na wala silang employment noon dahil nga parang, well, many of them kasi applied for jobs abroad. Walang hiring for abroad noon. And during that time, they couldn't even enter the hospitals here. Kasi parang puno. Or hindi nila matanggap yung sweldo nila. Sweldo na binibigay dito sa ating bansa. And so, yun na nga. Baligtad I mean, what I mean by baligtad is, they were graduates. They took up a course na akala nila yun ang pwede nilang magawang trabaho. Pero they ended up doing something else. Alright, so, ang tanong dyan is, what is happening really in schools? Are they really priming up students to become successful human beings after graduation? As a matter of fact, there's no graduation dapat kasi education is not supposed to end after graduation. It's a lifelong thing. That's why nga ako, I'm offering this Kamalayan Lifelong Learning Center, because I always tell people, it's not because you graduated already, you will not study anymore. As a matter of fact, now is the time to really study what you really want to study. Wala kayong grades, hindi ko kayo gagradean, pero you still have to study. You still have to learn new things. Yan, pasensya na. All right, I'd like to say hi to Bobby Carantes, Joric Templo Nuevo, Tan Rajay, Rajay, Christopher Francis Cruz, good afternoon. Yules the Great, kamusta na Yules from Cainta? Of course, Teacher Rock is watching. Okay. So, ang excuse me. Ang naging problema, ito ngayon, sabi nga natin, sa eskwelahan, we have to follow rules. And then, ang dami-daming subjects na tinuturo na kung saan karamihan sa mga subjects na gusto natin. Kunyari, you took up a course sa communication. Kaya nga, iba sabi nga, that's why I took up communication kasi I hate math. I hate mathematics. Yung pala, kailangan din nila kumuha ng math. Well, of course, importante yun. Ako talaga, sa akin, ang importante talaga sa whole educational system is to learn how to read, write, count, arithmetic, and reading, writing, reading, writing, counting, and ano pa ba yung isa? O yan, basta yung 3 R's. Importante yun. Ang problema, yes, they taught us how to read, but they forced us to read books or materials that we were not interested really. Kaya nakita ko nga yung logic behind some, I would say, modern schools now, no? Na kung saan hindi nila tinuturuan ng bata ngayon magbasa until grade 4 na hindi pa marunong magbasa. May mga, these are the more expensive schools. I don't want to say the names of these schools, no? Kasi baka mamaya mali yung interpretation ko of that. But alam ko, kasi I interviewed some students. And doon, sa eskwela nila, grade 4 na, grade 4. Iba, grade 1, grade 2, grade 2, grade 1, marunong na tayo magbasa eh. Ito, grade 4, hindi pa marunong magbasa. Yung pala sa kanila, until the student asks the teacher to teach him or her how to read, dun lang nila tuturuan magbasa. Kasi they do not want to force people or students to read something that they are not interested in reading. And doon ko nakita, wow, tama nga naman, no? Kasi kung pinwersa mo ang tao magbasa, katulad ako, I was forced to read a lot of things that I never really understood. Why? Because, well, let's put it this way. English is a second language for us. I mean, Filipinos. And during that time, well, there were some words na talagang ang hirap intindihan. Ang sinasabi nga, bakit hindi mo tignan sa dictionary? Oo, kuminsan na nakakatamad. A lot of us, tamad. So, imbes na, hindi may iba naman na talagang studious, no? Or yung talagang mahilig magbasa, and they really go out of their way to really look it up in the dictionary, yung mga words na hindi nila maintindihan. Kami, mga tamad, kasi nga, hindi kami naturuan ng, or we were not inspired, or we were not given that kind of motivation by whoever, by our parents or teachers, na to be able to read properly, no? So, basta kailangan marunong ka magbasa, whatever cost that would take, you have to do it. And so, I ended up not enjoying at all reading. Ito, for that matter, I went through school, high school, elementary, high school, college. I never really opened my books. I never tried to really read anything because useless. Sabi ko, ano yan? All I was interested in was, tinatanong ko na lang, Ma'am, ibibigay ba sa exam yung tinuturo nyo? Ano ba ibibigay nyo sa exam? Yun lang pag-aaralan ko. And that was the only thing that I would memorize. Ganun ang actually attitude na karami ng mga estudyante. Sir, ako, I taught in an exclusive school for girls for 18 years. Ang palaging tanong sa akin tuwing magkakaroon ng midterm or final exam, Sir, sir, ano ba mga itatanong nyo sa exam? Ano ba yung mga questions niyan? So they wanted to know the questions already. Kasi yun lang ang pag-aaralan nila. See, I mean, this is the attitude of students. And ganun din ako. I saw myself in them. And I couldn't take it against them na bakit sila ganun. I knew that was the problem that these students have, because as a result of the educational system, we were forced. We were not inspired to study. We were not taught how to love to learn. Iba yung loving to learn. Iba yung forced to learn. If you were trained to love learning, kusa yan. Talagang, the only time I enjoyed reading was when I got out from school, from college. And that was the only time I realized I never learned in school, anything from school. And so I had to catch up. And buti lang, there was a friend of mine who told me, don't read your textbooks anymore, pasay na lahat yan. It will not be of any help to you. Sabi ko, ano gagawin ko? Punta ako sa library. Pata kayo library, pasay na rin ang mga books dyan. Because things are changing fast. Ang sinabi niya sa akin, changed my life. And what was that? Go to the bookstores and just read anything that would inspire you or that would interest you. I will not tell you what books to read. Bahala ka. And that changed my life. And from that time on, I practically enjoyed reading. And for that matter, I bought a lot of books. And many of the books I had compiled and put them in a library. And now I was able to put up my Kamalayan libraries, which I have in Baguio now. I have 2 Kamalayan libraries in Baguio as a result of all the books that I have studied and read. So ito yung sinasabi ko na talagang we were not taught how to love learning or how to love our going to school. So for that matter, the curriculum has to change because many subjects in the curriculum are not really supposed to be taught. Kumbaga ngayon, okay, kung papabalikin mo mga estudyante ngayon, catch up tayo. Nagka-catch up tayo for last time. Pagbalik, i-assess na dapat ng DepEd or ng CHED, half of the curriculum dapat tanggalin na. Kasi, hindi naman kailangan talaga eh. Sa totoo lang. Hindi totoo. Sa totoo lang, useless. I mean, yeah, it's something interesting, pero for that matter, kung talagang pupwersahin mo ang estudyante, waste of time. And kung yun na nga, pababalikin mo mga estudyante ngayon to catch up sasabihin mo, for the 2020 class or 2021 class, well, ano pa nga hahabulin nila? Paano nila kung the entire curriculum will still put it on their schedule? They cannot do it. Useless na yan. I mean, kung na yan, cramming na yan na sobra. It's not practical anymore. So, kailangan i-assess na tanggalin lahat ng hindi na kailangan. I'm sure, doon mahihirapan. Ano yung mga subjects na tatanggalin? Kasi talagang problema kasi sa eskwelahan, ginawang business eh. So, pag ginawang business, siyempre gusto mo mang-akit nung kung ano nasasabi nyo, ganito ang mga tinuturo namin, ito. Pero pagdating doon, ang estudyante, para bang, ang gusto lang, makipag-sosyalan na lang eh. A lot of them, ganun lang eh. But, to be fair to those who really want to learn, no? I'm sure, yun na nga, may mga talagang kaya lang, ilan lang ito. And somehow, parang hindi nga na-inspire. Kawawa nga yung mga teachers eh, because they are really trying their best to really teach. Ang problema is, they also are, their hands are tied also because of the policies of all schools. Kasi nga, meron timetable, may mga sila, kailangan tapos na yan, kailangan mag-graduate, kailangan may bagong estudyante. Kasi business eh. Hindi naman business, imbis na talagang a place for learning. Naging kailangan pagkakitaan. Kung hindi, wala silang pansasweldo. Well, sabi nga, totoo naman yun. Pero, ang problema is, masyado na naging commercialized ang educational system natin. And somehow, useless talaga. Ako. So, ang isa pang tinanggal talaga ng eskwela o pinatay ng eskwelahan ay yung creativity. We were not allowed to be creative. We were just taught, we were forced to think of just one answer. Pati nga ako sa math dati, sabi ko, akala ko galing-galing ko sa math kasi I would always come up with the right answer. Pero yung pala, kailangan yung solution, going to that right answer, kailangan kung ano yung iniisip ng teacher, yun lang yung gagawin mo. Kasi sabi ko, sir, pareho naman yung answer bakit mali yung sa akin? Hindi ba yun ang gusto nyo to arrive at that particular answer? Hindi, kasi kailangan ito yung ginawa mong process. Well, of course, merong proseso. At saka yun na nga, they only have one answer. Na kung saan, hindi yun ang answer mo, it is considered wrong. So, bagsak ka ngayon. Ayan ang problema ng educational system natin. And, eto nga pagbabago, ang daming nagbago na sa mundo natin. Yung mga cellphone na lang. Di ba nagsimula, yung telepono natin, yung luma, yung kulay black. O, hindi pa, hindi naman natin naabutan yung may iniikot pa tayo. Basta yung black na ang bigat, ganyan. Until nauso na yung cellphone. So, dati talagang telephone ang tawag dyan. And then nauso yung cellphone. Hanggang nakita na natin, nagbago na yung ng cellphone, no? Paliit ang paliit. And then, wala ng wire, naging wireless. Ang dami pagbabago sa atin. Ang problema sa educational system natin, from that time na invento ang classroom at yung teacher at yung class in terms of how school is being portrayed in terms of, yung model natin, imagine 100 years ago, ang eskwelahan, ang itsura ngayon, ganun pa rin. There's a classroom, there's a room, there is a small table in front, there are several chairs at the back. So, kung ano yung itsura ng classrooms noon, ganun pa rin yung itsura ng classroom. Nagbago na tayo from analog to digital. Kumbaga sa technology, pag analog ka pa, useless ka na. Kaya nga, ito nga, yung sa ABS-CBN na nangyayari, na sinasabi na shutdown na. Actually, sa totoo lang, sa akin, lahat ng broadcasting, analog yan dapat na yan tanggalin na lahat from ABS, GMA, ABC5, tapos na yan I mean, na ngayon, social media or live stream, internet, basically digital. Yan ang ngayon pero nandun pa rin tayo sa analog. So, para tayong bumabalik lang sa nakaraan. Pero sabi ko nga, it is a futile thing to defend in terms of yung ginagawa ng ABS ngayon. Sabi ko, they can let go of that. I mean, move on. I mean, digital is the in thing na talagang ngayon ko, pinipilit pa rin nila ibalik ang ABS. Alright, so ang aking pakay kasi ngayon talagang ito is curriculum change. So, ano ang kailangan natin baguhin sa curriculum? Many of those subjects na ating tinuturo ay walang saysay. Na kung saan ay nilalagay na natin dyan just to complete the requirements of units na para sabihin na you have taken this number of subjects of units na para mapagmalaki mo na dumaan ka dun sa proseso na kung saan ay natapos mo lahat, dinaanan mo. Alam nyo, sa totoo lang, mas marami ako napapag-aralan na subjects kesa dun sa curriculum. Why? Because when I developed my love for learning, at that time when I got out from school, naging sobra yung aking gutom o yung hunger to learn, to catch up for lost time. And I would read for 18 hours straight. 18 hours, pahinga lang is kain, tulog. Pero 18 hours I can read continuously and, finish a lot of books. And talagang, ang tanong dyan is, yung mga binabasa ko ba, na-apply ko? Of course, because these were things that interested me, books that interested me. I will not actually read something na wala akong interest. Eh yun ang pinatay ng eskwelahan That desire, that drive for students to really go. I mean, for the love of whatever they are inspired with. Hindi. Sabi na, wag yan. Ito ang kailangan mong gawin. And so, binigyan ng materials, nakita ng bata. Wala. Patay ang dating. Pinatay natin ang utak natin. And many of the things that were not or are not even being taught up to now in school are the ones that are supposed to be taught na in schools. Katulad ng well, of course, I'll be biased, no? I had been promoting my Kamalayan advocacy because I believe that this thing that I am now teaching in terms of, I'm teaching it outside the academy. No? Kasi nga, no school would let me teach it. Kasi sabi nila, that is not allowed. It is not yet accepted. Kaya lang sabi nga namin is, sino ba dapat ang nagde-decide ng ano yung mga accept? Ang bilis ng pagbabago ng panahon. Ang ganda na nangyayari sa mundo. And somehow, hindi nasasabayan ng educational system yung pangyayari. Kasi nga, luma pa rin yung tinuturo. Samantalang, iba na ang takbo nga ng mundo And so, parang ang tinuturo pa rin natin, primitive pa rin yung knowledge na wala na talagang mangyayaring pagbabago. So, eto ngayon ang tanong. Kailan natin maintindihan na kailangan ng baguhin talaga? Kung talagang hindi pa rin matanggap ng karamihan ng eskwelahan ang mga bagong dapat natututunan na ngayon ng mga estudyante. Like for example ngayon, Finland is number 1 when it comes to the educational system. But Finland already changed its entire curriculum. Wala na sila masyadong classroom, blended learning. Ang tawag yun. Well, eto nga nagbe-blended learning tayo ngayon. Kasi kailangan na mag-laptop or mag-cellphone dahil online na ang magiging way of teaching. Ang problema is, are we prepared? Our country has not actually developed the kind of, I would say, technology in terms of the Wi-Fi that is needed. Na kailangan malakas, na palagi consistent. Hindi yung papapupugak-pugak. Meron ngayon, mamaya, wala na naman. Offline ka na naman. Yun, ganyan. So, basically, our government has not actually given us the kind of support when it comes to this. No? Tapos sinasabi nga, mag-online. Paano ka mag-online? Una-una, ang daming places na walang wifi, ang daming bata na walang gadgets or laptop. Tapos mag-online ka. So, ano ang gagawin ng So, kailangan talaga 1 year. Huwag tayo munang pumasok Let's stop everything first. Assess the curriculum, And then, ayusin natin ang technology. Kung magbe-blended learning, o kung talagang online na, sige, online na. Gastusan na yan lahat ng, kung na yan, which is, totoo naman eh. Everything is online now. I mean, everything now is through technology. Ang naiwan na nga talaga is our education system. Kaya kawawa talaga tayo eh. And this is why I am really, explaining it or really crying out loud in terms of telling people na, hey, baguhin na natin ang takbo ng ating sistema pang-edukasyon. Dahil kawawa lang ang pamilya, gagastos, magbabayad ng malaki para lang makagraduate yung anak niya. Pero actually, wala siyang matututunang magandang bagay. Masabuti pa, sa bahay na lang nga. Ito na nga ang mangyayari. The reality, kasi sabi ko nga ngayon, it's not anymore, I don't want to call it new normal kasi there will be no normalcy. So there will be no new normalcy that will happen because there will always be changes that will be ongoing. No? So ang aking kuan is the new reality. And that is the new reality. Always changing. And that is what we are now supposed to accept. And so, ano na itong mga new reality natin? Work from home is one of them. Marami na ngayon nakarealize, mas mabuti pa pala magtrabaho na lang sa bahay kaysa yung lalabas ka pa, araw-araw, pupunta ka sa opisina, gagastos ka pa, when in fact, pwede mo palang gawin. Ngayon lang nga na-realize ang maraming businesses eh. Noong nag-downsize sila when they allowed their employees to work from home, pwede pala. Mas tipid pa pala. Because they can actually do away with a lot of physical structures like buildings or office spaces na kung saan muupa pa sila ng mahal. Now, they can just operate from every home and then communicate through Zoom. And then na lahat, or meet wherever they want to meet. Pero they don't need anymore practically a building for their company. So, nagbago. Talagang pwede pala. Ang eskwelahan, ganun din eh. Online. Kaya kailangan talaga, we have to be prepared to really be able to give the kind of support to our students na kailangan meron silang gadgets or computers or laptop to be used. Tapos maayos yung wifi, malakas. So, yan ang mga kailangan natin talagang makitang pagbabago. We are not creating robots here. We are not creating factory workers anymore. Wala na yung industrial age. We are now supposed to, again, going back to, ito nga sa Finland, no? They did away with their homeworks. Wala na silang homework. And I think they will just, kung meron man silang time to go to school, siguro mga 3 times a week lang, ganyan. And everything was happening online. And hindi pa nila yung curriculum. Hindi na ito yung mga dating kailangan nilang nakuhaan, pag-aaralan nila. Pero they really developed their teachers. And they got the best teachers that they could get. Kasi nga, yun yung kailangan mong i-prime. Kasi many times, students become disinterested in school because the teachers really are boring. Maraming ganyan eh. Or the teachers don't understand exactly the process of what real teaching is. Sa kanila, pag hindi mo sila nasabayan, mahina ka. And this is another aspect in terms of schooling. Yes, we have the top schools. I'll mention them. Ateneo, LaSalle, UP, UST, yan ang palagi pag sila ng top schools, yan yung maririnig natin. Kaya lang, pag pumasok ka doon, you have to have this kind of intellectual level already. Na kung saan, when they give that the entrance exam, kailangan maipasa mo. Di ba? Yun ang requirement. Paano na yung mahihina? At least ako, pumasa. Kaya lang, I decided to just go to another school. I mean, I passed Ateneo. Nung tinanong ako ng nanay ko, bakit di mo tinanggap? Sabi ko, wala akong hilig na mag-aral when I said wala akong hilig mag-aral, during that time, I wasn't really interested, I wasn't really sure yet as to what I would take up. Ang mali pa nga yung ko mali pa yung reason ko kung why I wanted to take up medicine. I wanted to take up medicine, but for the wrong reason. Because I like the uniform, yung white, all white. Yun lang yun. And that was when my mother learned that I wanted to take up medicine. She took me to another school where she was teaching. Sabi niya, dito ka magturo sa FAU. Kasi pag dito ka at I'm teaching here, you will get a discount. Malaking discount pag nag-medical school ka. But then again, sabi ko nga, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with myself. Hindi ko kilala sarili ko. I took the course for the wrong reason until I started failing all my chemistry, zoology, and God. Doon ko nakita talaga, it's not for me. And so I shifted. Anyway, so ayun ang kwan. So, ang tanong dyan is, eto mga eskwelahan na bilanggit ko kanina, they will only get yung kwan nila, yung average sa kailangan nilang mapasa mo. So, pag hindi mo nakuha yon, you will not be accepted in that school. You will get to study in another school. Alright, akin lang, pakay. If you really consider yourself a good school, kung sasabihin mo, we are a great school because really, we have this kind of teachers that we have that can really teach students to become the best. Dapat ang talagang konyan, you are open to all kinds of students. Kasi kung talaga magaling ka magturo, yung mga mahihinang estudyante, pwede mong maiangat ang antas nila in terms of their intellectual level. And that's what I believe in. Walang bobo. Meron lang mabagal mag-aral. Merong mabilis. Kaya that's why nga, in some schools, wala na yung grade or yung year levels. The moment they pass a certain subject or a certain level, they get to be given other assignments na kung saan yun ang nagpapataas lang ng learning nila. Pero they don't even know what year or what grade they are already. I think may ganyan mga eskwelahan, no? I don't know what this school is in Santo Domingo. Anyway, I shared our lecture. Today's subject, Kamalayan lecturer, so tato man. Okay na. Si Mines. Hello, Mines. Kamusta na? All right. We have a good friend from Baguio. Kung nasa Baguio ka ngayon o dito sa Manila. I'd like to say hi to Agnes Bernaldez, Celeste Mercado, Mark Angelo Malay, I suppose. Malay ito, MLY. Lakan Bagwis, Buhawi. Arranger ni Andrew E. Bibi Ramos. Hello. Benjamin. Alright. Naku, buti na lang nahabol ko. Alright. Anyway, so, tuloy-tuloy tayo. Thank you, Mines, for sharing. Anyway, so, ito na. We give standard tests to all students. Kumbaga, pagdating ng midterm finals, standard yan. Kailangan maipasa na yan. Sabi nga natin, nasaan na yung uniqueness ng bata. Na kung saan, ito ang hilig, hindi ito. Tapos bibigyan mo ng test, pare-pareho, na hindi angkop sa kanilang talino. Nasaan na yung pagbibigay natin ng tuon dun sa kanyang gusto. Hindi natin na-develop. So, binibigyan mo siya ng test according to what was taught that person. Nandun mo lang siya iti-test. Now, the thing here is, baka naman siya magaling sa ibang bagay, kaya lang, since your test, dun lang nakakonfine sa tinuro, yun lang ang magiging basihan kung papasa yung bata o hindi. Sabi nga natin, yung bata, scholar magaling sa basketball. Di ba, meron tayong mga sports scholars na ang tingin nga ng iba, hindi nag-aaral. Well, let's put it this way. Yung sa UP, they have to maintain their grades to be considered still, tawag dito, students and scholars for that matter, in terms of being able to play in UP. Now the thing is, about in other schools, yun nga, ang galing nila is on playing. So, nandiyan na tayo. Nakita natin sa PE, meron tayong mga magaling na dancers, magagaling na musical artists, kung saan andyan yung card. Kaya lang nga, high school, wala pang major yan. So, ang tanong dyan is, kung sa high school pa, pero gano'n na ang talino ng bata, pero i-grade mo siya dun sa hindi niya galing. Kasi ngayon, hindi ba, one of those intelligences already are considered, hindi na just IQ Meron na tayong multiple intelligences Pero normally, they don't consider it kasi IQ pa rin ang tinitignan. But anyway, so ito yung nangyayari sa atin. Ibabagsak pa rin natin yung bata. Or bibigyan natin ng mababang grade dahil wala Sasabihin na talagang hindi interesado Kasi nga, hindi niya interest yung tinuturo ng eskwelahan. Ang interest lang niya is to be able to really become the best of who he is in terms of, let's say, basketball. Ang basketball, hindi madali yan. Akala natin madali, shoot lang yan. Meron din yung, in terms of strategies, in terms of yung kailangan mong pag-iisip, Hindi yan akala nila na laro lang. So, for that matter, doon natin nagkakaroon tayo ng bias sa ating mga bata, sa ating mga estudyante when it comes to their real talent or their real, I would say, uniqueness. Para bang sinabi mo nga, sabi ka doon sa ako isang cartoon na parang ang pinalalabas mo, pinipilit mong umakyat ng puno ang isang isda. Hindi naman siya created to climb a tree, but to swim underwater. Yung ibang animals, pag nilagay mo sa tubig, malulunod. Yung isda, buhay. Nandun yung yan ang hindi nakikita ng eskwelahan. Ayun ang ayaw bigyan ng pansin ng eskwelahan. Ngayon, meron na mga unti-unting mga eskwelahan lumalabas na pag pumasok ka sa kanila, wala silang curriculum. Kung ano yung gusto mong pag-aralan, yun, tuturuan ka nila. Tututukan ka. Kunyari, sabi mo, music ang call mo. That is the time they will look for a music teacher for you. They will not give you other subjects na kung saan, basta kung ano yung mga interest mo lang. Now, the thing here is, dapat ganun Ang mga estudyante, dapat sila ang gumagawa ng sarili nilang course. Na kung saan, pwede nila i-combine Kunyari, music. At the same time, I want to become an engineer. No, di, meron ka ngayong dalawang klaseng teachers na who would actually really, tututok dun sa batang yon. Na kung saan yung interest lang niya ang tinututukan. Hindi Wala tayong pakialam, ang ginawa ng eskwelahan, wala kang pakialam sa interest nyo, basta ito ang pag-aralan nyo, pare-pareho kayo, kailangan ipasa nyo lahat yan. And that was exactly what destroyed the education system. Kasi ang pattern nun was for factories, for the industrial age yan. Ngayon we're in the information age. Wala na yung pare-pareho. Kanya-kanya na ngayon. Hindi na pwede sabihin mo, ito pa rin ang kailangan ituro sa lahat. Ngayon, information age, all the information, all the materials are out there. Bahala ka na kung anong gusto mo matutunan. That's where I believe that self-education is the real way of learning na nga dapat yan in this 21st century. It's not going to school anymore. Self-education, self-learning. Kasi kung talagang kusa ang bata, matututong mahalin ang pag-aaral, never ending yan. He will actually study a lot of things. And he will really amount to a lot of things that we can never really describe or, we would think impossible. Kaso, kinahon natin. Yun, the word is kinakahon natin. Gusto natin, ganyan ka lang. Kasi nga, there are some groups of, I don't know, kung meron talagang kinokontrol ang ating takbong sa pamumuhay natin, na hanggang dito lang tayo. Sila lang yung nakaangat. Sila lang yung magaling. Kailangan sumunod kayo. So, now, they're trying now to come up with one government, with one currency. Ano yan? Sino magkocontrol yan? Sino magpapatakbo niyan? So meron tayong sigurong one. But I don't believe in that conspiracy na mangyayari. Maybe there was a conspiracy in terms of that kind of that concept. Pero I don't think it will work now. Kasi parang ang nangyayari ngayon it's the universe now really dictating what is supposed to make happen now. Nagbago na nga ang kamalayan ng Earth And so dito natin nakikita na kailangan tayo rin magbago ng kamalayan, consciousness. So dapat talaga, ito na yung sasabi ko, we really have to change. Again, as I've said, I'm not against school. I love learning. I love education. I love to learn. I enjoy learning. At my age, I still continue learning every day new things. This makes me feel young. So, ang tanong dyan is, kailangan, hindi pa ba natin babaguhin? Now is the time. Huwag na tayong sumunod sa Amerika na kung ano yung gagawin ng Amerika sa educational system nila, kokopihin pa natin uli. Ngayon, maybe we can start really forming our own educational system na bagay sa ating country, sa ating bansa. So, kailangan ngayon, palitan na natin lahat, tanggalin na natin yung mga hindi kailangan, kung ano na yung nakikita natin mga importante na makakatulong sa atin, yun ang ilagay natin. So yan ang importanteng maintindihan ngayon ng ating lahat, ng kayo lahat. What I am trying to say here is, before we get to go back to schools, let's change the educational system, let's change the curriculum, let's change the whole concept of learning. Yan ang akin lampakay. Sayang, kawawa ang mga bata, kawawa ang parents. Magastos sa pag-aaral. In a way, totoo naman yan. Kaya lang nga, gumagastos sila ngayon para sa wala. I'm sorry to say, it's true. I mean, ngayon, pag pinabalik nyo yung lahat ng mga bata ngayon sa pag-aaral nila, o pag-graduate nyo ngayon, they will not anymore be able to know what to do with their lives. Na itong pag-alis nila sa eskwelahan, saan sila pupunta? Wala lang ang trabaho eh. And kung may trabaho man, computers have already taken over their jobs. And so this is really a serious thing to think about, to talk about as well. So, wala bang magsasuggest or magtatanong dyan among all those who are listening to me or watching me now? Aside from si Mines, anyway, so much appreciated, sabi ni Mines. So Rodel Katahay, hello. So, I will not anymore stay long. Yan ang aking pakay yung hapon nito. As a matter of fact, ito, hindi ko pinlano na pag-usapan. Kaya lang nga, biglang may nag-udyok sa akin kanina. Talk about this. I mean, okay. So, I hope I did a good thing in terms of discussing this for today. So, with that, I'd like to say magandang magandang kamalayan sa inyo lahat. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagtangkilik ng ating eskwelahan na tinatawag natin my online Kamalayan Lifelong Learning Center, kung saan where we hold our classes na kung tawagin natin ay Kamalayan Learning Alternative Success System. So with that, I'd like to now say goodbye. Thank you, and maybe I'll see you again for our next class on Sunday. Hindi pa natin natatapos yung Universal Laws. So, sa Sunday, tuloy natin yan. Tomorrow, Saturday, so Sunday. See ya. So, magandang kamalayan ulit. Thank you.